Okay, so yeah, this is my first time doing this. I'm just kind of gonna draw over to give my thoughts on like what I was thinking while I was drawing this, like what I thought I did good, what I thought I did bad. Just kind of brief overview. So I have been a more traditional artist for basically all I can remember. So you can see me doing like the very like classic like 1 point perspective. Um, and so it's very weird to like switch to digital art and then like try to like understand that like it gets I don't know, just everything feels like a little off, so I'm still trying to get used to it. I will say I think indecision was a big problem with this drawing. You can see like you'll see it in the video. I changed the pose like a bunch of times, which again it's fine, but it's like I wish I had changed it during this phase where I could still like erase it easily. But like even really close to the end of the drawing, I was still changing poses, and I mean. If I didn't stop when I did, I probably would have changed the other arm again. It's just because again, I'm very indecisive, and especially with how easy it is to erase, I very much feel that indecision a lot more. That and again, I like to ping around between a lot of things. You'll see that in the video. I like to work on one thing and another, another. Like I'll be doing line work, and then I want to start shading, and it's like, well, I should probably do this on another layer, and so it's very weird because again, I'm used to physical art, so it is kind of odd to have these kind of weird like having to make another layer and having to do it this way and this way. So just getting used to that was very fun in this video. Yeah, so you can see again, I'm switching around poses, I'm switching around like facial structures. I do think it is always like to the improvement of the art. I don't think I'm ever like switching a face to something that looks like worse noticeably. I do think it, is either for the anatomy being a little better or this or that or another. Um, but yeah, again, I think I probably should have used like more reference photos because this was just kind of off the top of my head. Like I just kind of thought of two dudes fighting in a city, and then I just kind of went. I think I did okay like in that regard, but I do think that using reference photos definitely would have helped at least like make it feel a lot more accurate. Just so that I could like really get the posing down. Because you'll see in the video that I'm like I struggle with the hands, I struggle with the back, I struggle with the arms, like I struggle especially with that like behind the back pose because it's like which I do think it's good to challenge myself in that way, but it's like I mean having to like try to think of how the back muscles are gonna look, especially like when you turn, like trying to think about how your back's doing that. It's just I don't know, it's a lot. It's definitely a lot. But again, I do think that given the all of that, I do think it's did still end out pretty good, considering all of that and considering this is like at least the first time I've really sat down and really tried to give it my all to digital art. Because I've done like sketches in the past, obviously once I got the tablet, but this was the first time I really like, you know, hunkered down and tried to get better. Um, but yeah, in terms of like stuff I think I could have improved on. Definitely some of the posing. What I will say is, I don't know how well this is gonna sync, so I don't know where we're gonna be at in the video. But what I will say is that the background turned out a lot better. I really like drawing people, so I thought the background was gonna be a lot worse than it was, but the background ended up being pretty good, at least comparatively. I think it's definitely a highlight. But I think that's mostly just because I really stuck to the perspective, tried to draw everything in the lines, tried to like really get that very situated. Um, so I think I could have. I think if I tried to follow that through a lot more with the characters themselves, I think it would have turned out a lot better. Because I think like the guy jumping, I think he is like pretty on point, but I think that's just because he's so close to like the point that everything's focused on that it kind of balances out. Um, but yeah, no, again, it's it's just I've always wanted to be better at digital art. I've always wanted to like broaden the horizons, mostly because like dude, buying paper sucks. Like, do you know how much like I have to go out, I have to get a sketchbook, I have to go and like I have to draw everything on pen, and like I can't, it's just this whole process. And it's like, all of it to still look ugly, and I kind of just wasted a piece of paper. Like it's just kind of like it's one of those things where it's like, that is a little annoying. So that's at least the reason why I really wanted to start. Also, when I'm indecisive, as you can see in this video, I'm very indecisive with my art and like what I want to put there and what I want to do there and yada yada yada. When I'm indecisive with digital art, I can just erase and do it again. Indecisive with physical art, now you just have a bunch of eraser marks, or you have to like scratch it out with a pen, or you have to like try to like forge it into something that looks good. Like it's this, which it's like a very good creative exercise, but it's also like, dude, I don't want to be creative. I want to be good at art. Like, come on, man. I don't, you know. And so I think a lot of that, because at least when I was doing physical art, it was a lot of, sorry about that little audio. It was my chair, but but when I was doing physical art, a lot of it was like you start drawing a thing and then you can kind of like start shading it while you're doing it and yada yada. With digital art, much different, much more. You kind of gotta have a lot more structure, which is something I think I'll learn with time. Um, but yeah, no, again, we should be more like me fiddling with the background. I think I did pretty good considering. The only thing I didn't really like was the trash can on the side, like next to the We Buy Gold thing. Which also I don't really know why I chose like a We Buy Gold thing, or like the for rent or the open to whatever. That was just kind of, I don't know, just needed a building and I didn't want them all to just be nameless rectangles. What I did really struggle with is trying to understand like cross hatching and that kind of stuff because I normally draw with a pen, or like if I can I try to draw with pen. And so like trying to, and like if you're drawing with pen in real life, you obviously like apply different pressure and you do it in such a way where you can like make the lines do what you need, and you can like you can cross hatch, like you can do the actual art technique. With digital art, I've noticed that it feels a lot weirder to try to do it because like the pressure, just like the disconnect of it being digital, at least in my mind, has definitely gotten to be like eh. So you can see me here like kind of struggling with like trying to like, is this too dark? Is this too light? Like trying to keep the contrast while still like keeping stuff defined in the background, which I think I could have done a better job with looking at the final product. Again, I think there's still a good amount of stuff that I could have improved upon. Which a lot of it would have either come with me spending more time on the project, which like duh, that's everybody can be good at art eventually if you give them enough time. But I think a lot of it could have been I spent a little more time on the project, or I don't know, or I was just a little more focused from the start. I think a lot of that could have been solved. But yeah, again, I really do like shading in like the people. That's always been like a super favorite thing. Anytime I'm drawing in like class or anytime I'm drawing like somewhere like that, I love to draw just like the muscles, like because it's just so fun. Just because I'm very like I don't know, it's just very fun drawing like you know like drawing that perfect anatomy, just drawing that like that like picturesque. You have like your pecs into rib cage into abdomen into your obliques and like all the different muscle groups, and it's just like it's just so satisfying. And so I think I very much like I focused on that for so long that like I can draw a chest very well, and I can draw like forearms and biceps and triceps and traps and blah blah blah, right? All I can draw that very well. However, I can't like draw it proportionally sometimes when it's like in a weird angle, and like especially when it's in this weird, like if they're like doing a weird jump pose or like something like that, I think that's where I get lost in it. And so that's considering it's my strength, I think I still have a lot of the way to go. You know, I don't know, I whatever that meant, whatever that little speech was. But yeah, no, again, I don't know, we're kind of getting to the end here. I did decide to outline everything because I did want to have it like pop, pop out a little more against the environment. Um, but yeah, no, it was this was super fun to do. I'll definitely do it tomorrow. I don't know how long I'll spend doing it, which because it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, I could. Art's one of those things where it's like I can spend 4 hours doing it, I can spend 30 minutes doing it. the fun's always gonna be there. Um, so again, I'll probably try to spend because this took like an hour and a half, so I'll probably try to spend like I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours, just like that kind of time frame. And make another video about it. Would I don't know, my YouTuber call to action. If you could like actually give me an idea to draw, because that was a just like trying to figure out what to draw, um, was kind of an issue today. So, but yeah, no. Outside of that, again, I plan to do this pretty much for a very long time. At least for the rest of the summer, just because drawing's fun. I like doing it. I want to get better at it because I want to draw stuff. And so it'd be super awesome if y'all, would, do the like, comment, and subscribe, as the YouTubers say. And just, just kind of give me feedback and do that kind of stuff. Because again, I am still very new to this, so getting any criticism I could would be very, very helpful. Um, but yeah, again, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.